US lawmakers make me shake my head because if you've seen, they're trying to ban DJI drones. And for those who don't maybe even fly drones or know what drones are, DJI makes up the main market of pilots, at least those who fly DJI drones, not only in the United States, but around the entire world. There's roughly about 400,000 Part 107 professional drone pilots, and I would actually say that maybe 75–80% of them fly DJI drones because they are the leader. There are no drones that come close to the capabilities, the safety features, and just the advancement of drones. And since I fly DJI, and I've been flying DJI for the past 10 years, I need to talk about this because if they ban this, it's not only bad for professionals like myself, but also first responders in the country. So what is exactly going on? Let me break it down. You see, right now we're kind of going through a phase in the United States to where we're trying to ban anything that is Chinese owned. Obviously, you see what's going on with TikTok. We've seen that happen with cell phones, and now they're going after drones. Essentially, this bill, which is actually called H.R. 2864, says that DJI security protocols are an issue for the United States. It is their thought that Russia can get through these security protocols and maybe go through and look through the lenses of our cameras, which makes absolutely no sense. And to be honest with you, what would they be looking at? I mean, I film videos of the beach, of real estate properties, of many different projects I work on. What would that mean? On top of this, there had been 8 different audits of DJI software where they looked to see could Russia access photos and videos and flight software. And hey, that Flight Hub 2, which is one of the programs we use, is there any kind of security issues with that? They went through all of these audits and nothing came back showcasing that Russia could get inside of any of these drones or the technology or the data. Well, right now we're in a climate where anything that is made in China or for China that is digital or could be accessed by Chinese companies is being completely shut down. But this is where things get extremely strange because this is essentially not its own standalone bill. It's a part of the National Defense Authorization Act, which is something that must pass for the Department of Defense. And in short, within that bill, which most likely will pass, says that DJI would not be able to use the FCC frequencies that they currently use to allow these drones to fly in the United States. For those who don't know, the FCC regulates every single frequency here in the United States, everything from little wireless drones to microphones to Bluetooth, you name it, they control all of that. And after 2 days of debating, they're saying that the FCC should remove and ban any frequencies that are given to DJI. So where are we in this ban? You see, it was just in congressional committee where it passed 57-1. Then it needs to be voted upon a few different times before it eventually gets to the president's desk, where then he signs it into law. And here's the issue. This bill, the National Defense Authorization Act, always gets passed. And so this is the problem we come to, is the fact that everyone, including first responders and people like me, we use these drones for our livelihood. And there's been absolutely no proof that DJI has any kind of access to the data and information. So removing DJI and the drones is going to hurt the United States more than anything. Because imagine how many first responders use it for missing people. Or maybe there's a fire, they need to know exactly where it is, so they send a drone up real quickly, they figure it out and they're able to get to it quicker. Maybe someone out in the water is missing and they can put the drone in the skies and they can figure out where this person is. All of these things will completely disappear the moment that this bill passes. But to me, there's another thing that's going on here that no one is talking about, and it's the fact that this bill would also stop any kind of advancements for drones in the United States. You see, DJI has been innovating for so long that US companies have been trying to keep up, and to be honest with you, they cannot. GoPro tried making their own drone. It failed miserably. We have the Parrot, which I have to admit is probably one of the worst drones on the market right now. Sure, the latest one has gotten better, but it's nowhere even close to what a DJI can do. On top of that, there are no alternatives for other drones. For example, agricultural drones. DJI runs the market on that, so you're going to be hurting farmers. Next, they would pretty much be attacking the movie industry because, I mean, we all fly Inspire 3s with the top-of-the-line cameras that can shoot in 8K, and we can only really do that with DJI because the other drones can't even handle that amount of weight. But what does this mean moving forward? Well, if it goes to the next few votes and the president signs it, I guess it doesn't technically mean that every single thing could be banned at that very moment. The FCC would ban future ones coming, and then the other ones, they could have their licenses revoked, which would essentially brick all of our drones, which would essentially mean that drones like this would just essentially become paperweights overnight. But I think we're seeing one possible way that we'll be able to still fly these drones in the United States, and that is by DJI selling off its US assets. If they're able to sell off their licenses, their programs, and things here in the United States to a US-based company that they still own interest in, it's extremely possible that they could just renew the licenses on these and we'll be good to go. But if they're unable to do this, if DJIs are completely gone, the drone world that we know today will be gone, because the next, you spend $2,000 on a drone, but the US version of that drone from other companies run you about $6,000. And unless you're made of money, you're not going to be able to buy multiple drones that you need. Because as any drone pilot knows, it's not just one drone in your arsenal. You've got different drones that do different things. You have your POV drones. I've got my smaller drones for inside shots. I've got my bigger drones for outside shots. I've got my Inspire so that I could do professional commercial grade stuff. And I just went ahead and looked up to see how much it would cost for me to buy all of these new drones so that I can do exactly what I do now. And I would need as close to about $37,000. Huh? And let's remind ourselves that DJI does more than just drones. They've got wireless microphones, battery packs. We've got a lot of different kind of handheld stuff, whether it's the Robin, the Osmo. Let's talk about all of the new cameras they sell. Like I have the DJI Action Cam. They've got the new handheld ones. There is so much more stuff that DJI makes that these licenses could be revoked, which means things are just going to get a lot worse. But I want to know your thoughts about this in the comment section below, and be sure to follow me for more.